Now, Jordan, let's go ahead and flip the page to another key cog in the 2024 Clemson offense, and that is none other than our old buddy Cade Klubnik. Now, this dude has taken a lot of shots from Clemson fans since he's been on campus. I think we've even stated on this show that, we still believe in Cade. We believe that he can develop and become a really good quarterback for our Clemson Tigers. But we do, have to be honest and, look ourselves in the mirror and be like, honestly, he's not where we thought he would be at this point in time, right? Coming out of high school, Cade Klubnik was a guy that, he was going to be an instant success. If you asked a lot of Clemson fans, probably including us, and there was no reason to think any otherwise, because of the level of competition he played and dominated in Texas at Westlake. The kid absolutely balled out. He was a winner. He was a baller. He was a guy that, made really good reads, put his offense in positions to win games. And, the transition to college has not been the easiest for Cade Klubnik. He's had to work at it. It's been a slower transition than a lot of people thought it would be. But I tell you, one of the good things that you can rest assured is Cade is putting in the work in the offseason. He is trying to get better. If anybody thinks that Cade Klubnik is satisfied with the way that he played in 2023, you're wrong. Like, he knows. He knows his shortcomings. He's probably harder on himself than any of us possibly could be, right? We're not on here. Nobody's on the internet saying anything that he's probably not already said to himself. And I tell you, it's really good to see, when you open up social media and you see people tweeting out and you see articles written and you see this list of names that are working with Jordan Palmer over in California, and that is Cade Klubnik. Obviously, everybody knows Jordan Palmer. He works with the elite of the elite quarterbacks every single year going into the NFL draft. His ability to, get quarterbacks ready and develop quarterbacks is well documented. So we all know what Jordan Palmer can do. Cade Klubnik worked with him last offseason as well. Well, he's back over there this offseason, and he's got a couple of Clemson's receivers with him, Antonio Williams, Jake Briningstool, to name a few, right? And they're over there. They're getting work. They're getting extra reps. They're gaining that chemistry together. So, Jordan, just what do you think when you see that on social media or that kind of article published about these guys flying all the way to California, working with a guy like Jordan Palmer, getting these extra reps? What does that tell you about not only Cade Klubnik, but Antonio Williams, Jake Briningstool, just these guys as a group? What does that tell you about these guys?
It's massive. These guys came in the same recruiting class. So, obviously there's been Jake Briningstool will be a senior this year, but these guys have been around each other a long time, and they know what this season means for all three of them. It's a massive year for Cade. It's a massive year for Antonio Williams coming off of injury, being a junior. Now he's he came in as the stud freshman that was making plays back in 2022, and now he's already a junior. And so now he's one of the senior guys in the room, and he's expected to be one of the bigger contributors in the wide receiver room. And obviously, Jake Briningstool is a senior, and this is his massive money year. You saw glimpses of what he could be last year, but obviously it wasn't what we all had hoped it would be because the offense just was never on the same page, collectively. And so that I thought he should have had a bigger season than he did. And obviously this year is a massive year for him as far as his pro prospects are concerned. I think it's massive for them to be developing this chemistry and getting this work in. And Cade working on himself being a quarterback. He was, a lot of times last year, as much as the offensive line struggled at times and as much as they, just the turnovers really, really hurt this offense. Cade was his own worst enemy at a lot of times. Learning how to kind of iron and work those things out is one of the biggest things for whether or not Clemson is successful as an offense this year. I think that just those three going out there and getting a fresh perspective. I know Garrett Riley is the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach, but it's always good to go out and learn from guys that have been working with quarterbacks for a really, really long time. And, because Garrett Riley himself is still a young guy. I mean, we think about him as like, oh, he was the hottest offensive coordinator in the country when Clemson hired him. But guys, he's still in his mid-30s. Like, he's not like this seasoned coach. And, there are things that he's learning and growing to become as a play caller and as a quarterback coach. He's learned from a lot of really good people, and obviously his last name carries a lot of weight and a lot of pedigree. But at the end of the day, you still learn more as you get older and more experienced, and you're not, nobody's a finished product as a player or as a coach when they're, young. So it's good for Cade and the receivers to go out and learn from a guy that has been and worked with quarterbacks that have done it at the highest level. And it's massive that, they're just getting that work in and dedicated to improving, because we need all three of those players to be successful as an offense. And really cool stuff. It was nice to see them. I saw Cade. I think he was with, I don't know if it was Jordan Palmer's like kid or daughter or something. I saw a picture that he took. It was really nice. And then I saw the obviously the picture that Antonio Williams posted on his Instagram of all of them, just on the grass chilling. So that was cool.
Yeah, I think it's huge. I really do. And obviously this offensive success this season is going to start in the trenches. It does for every single offense. The trenches are super important. But next and maybe more importantly is the quarterback play, right? His ability to play within the system, to make the proper reads, to have the chemistry with his wide receivers is going to be key. And the fact that he is putting in this work in the offseason, and not only that, but he's got a couple of guys with him, right? It shows that closeness that they have. It shows that togetherness that they feel as teammates. And it shows that all three of those dudes are super hungry to improve over the summer, and they're ready. They're coming into the season hungry. That's what that says to me. And I couldn't be more excited because those two guys, specifically talking about Antonio Williams and Jake Briningstool, we need those guys to have big seasons. We need those guys to be big parts of this offense, right? And I'm glad to see Cade continuing to work with a guy like Jordan Palmer, who has such a pedigree and proven track record of working with and developing high-level quarterbacks, right? So really good to see that sort of stuff coming out of the summer for Clemson. That we're just highlighting a few guys. Look, a bunch of these guys across the roster are putting in extra work. They're trying to develop. They're trying to get better. They are trying to transform, if you will, in the transformation phase, as Dabo Swinney likes to call it, for Clemson football. So I for one, cannot wait to see fall camp get kicked off and started, that official first day where they do the big weigh-in and they got all the cameras there and everybody's going nuts. I can't wait to see what everybody looks like when they show up, because I think this team should be hungry heading into the 2024 season. There's a lot of noise out there about Clemson, right? There's a lot of noise about, Dabo Swinney and the way that he goes about things, and Clemson as a football program, and how, they're on a downward trajectory, and, the dynasty's over, and, there's just a ton of talk about Clemson, and not pretty much none of it is positive at this point. Right. So these guys should be using this as fuel this offseason. They should be challenging themselves. They should be getting better. And it seems that they are doing that, at least from a surface level look, which is as far as we're going to get as fans. So I'm excited to see how these guys roll into fall camp, and can't wait to see this version of the 2024 Tigers through fall camp. And then when they get to run out there August 31st against the Georgia Bulldogs, and we get to get that huge measuring stick early.